Hello everyone, Sunday Adelaja here. Nice to see all of you. Welcome everybody. I hope you got the notification. Who is going to be the first one today? Okay, this is Shegun Fatuma. I think the topic in the morning was misunderstood by few listeners. Yes. I'm going to address that. I'm going to address it. Modupe Oyewole, Rochelle White. Victoria Amani Salau, blessings. Nira Kolawole, Shao Smith, Elizabeth Ali, Asunta Deng, Beate Muller, Julius Osimen, Flair Karim Matip. Been waiting for this. Okay, Victoria. Bolujide Erinolua, yes, Pastor Bolu. Yakubu Buala, welcome. Lola Shoronke, Echo Ngomba. Shigo, hi. Kike Moronkeji, Maria Makanjola is here. Apostle Yomi, good to see you also. Jaha Zaib, welcome. Shegun Lawal, Ada Ora, blessings. Michael Oluwoye, blessings. Layo Charles Emmanuel. Great night indeed, okay. Yeah, it's going to be a great night indeed. It's going to be a great night. Obafemi Ogunusi. It's going to be a great night. Patty Bafu says, I'm just weeping listening to you. My husband introduced me to you. She's just weeping listening to me. I think that happens to a lot of people. Taiwo Aboba, Prince Gibson. Okay. Ayo Adedayo. Rebecca Head. Olabisi Akande. Olukayode Brandley. Nkem DKI. Harvest Victory. Steve Osareti. Longing to hear from you. Okay, we're ready. Anojo. Lampe. Christina. Okay. Okay, Shigo said, Pastor, my kids are sending their love. You are a regular in our home now. Good. Well, if they listen to me, if they begin to listen to me this early, they are going to become great in life for sure. Adeshola, Adeshina, Paul Eric, Niyolu Shola. Please, did you read my mail? That's Taiwo Abo Abba. I think I did reply you too. I think I replied you, Taiwo. Remekon. That is my Omoile. She said, praise God, it's another time of refreshing. Yes. Glory Baye, Mara Kola, Esther Kuganja, Gloria, Val, Ufoma. Well, welcome everybody. Abiodun Oluwale. Anojo said, Pastor, this morning message has given joy to my future wife, even without annoying. Oh, okay. How blessed is she and my future. Do you have future wife already? Is she? I know she's existing somewhere, but do you know each other yet already? Thank God that people like you, a young man like you, you are taking that decision about your future wife. But some older guys are actually getting concerned about that message this morning. Some of them misunderstood, and some of them are actually crossed about that message in the morning. Some of them don't like it. So, you know, so I hope to clarify some things about the message this morning. The topic of the message is, let's go and share the link first of all. Let's go share the link first. So I hope you've all shared the link. If you have not, go look for your share button and let's share the link. Let's go look for the share button and go share the link, please. Let everybody go share their link and go just press the share button, that's all, and we'll be ready to go. And I want to do some clarification about this morning's message before I go ahead to talk about this evening's message. Okay, if you have shared the link, everyone, then we could continue. All right, now concerning this morning's message, the morning's message was why my wife doesn't cook and I don't drive. All right, why my wife doesn't cook and I don't drive. And everything I said in that message is true. And by the way, you know, one thing with me is that I could say things that you don't like, but everything I say is always true. So if you might agree, you might not agree, but the bottom line is everything I say, I mean it, and it's true. And even though the message was named why my wife doesn't cook and I don't drive, but that was not the point of that message, really. That was not the main lesson of that message. That was not the main thing I wanted to communicate in that message. And I thought I said it. I thought I made people to know that, you know, that was just an illustration. It was just an example. I was just using my story to be an example. I was not using it as a commandment kind of, or as a decree. I was not saying everybody must do this, or everybody must be like me, or everybody must do the same thing I'm doing. I would have preferred for it to be so. I would have preferred for everybody to do like that, but it was kind of my sharing of my experience. I was just sharing my own experience. And I was recommending that that's the way I think that everybody should treat their wives. But I also realize, and I know that not everybody has the opportunity. Not everybody have the possibility. Even my wife was opposing to this. She was fighting. She couldn't believe it. She was saying, "Are you really serious?" I mean, it took me 3 years for her to really give up and, you know, stop trying to cook for me, because she was thinking, okay, it's not loud enough. Oh, the message was loud and clear. Okay, yeah, because and you know, I had to convince her, and so for people to think that I was kind of, I don't know what people misunderstood. You know, everybody take their own decision, but this is the way I treat my wife, and this is the way I treat women generally, not just my wife. This is the way I like to treat women. And somebody say, okay, what about people who don't have the money or who cannot afford it? I'm not commanding anybody to do anything. Even my wife, when she was saying, you know, are you sure? My argument was, Princess, I worked all my life to come to a place like this. I added value all through my life. I built myself all through my life so that I will not get to a place whereby I say, I cannot afford this or I cannot afford that. I said, I prepared myself. I worked hard so that I will be able to afford anything I wanted in life. So, you know, it's not that everybody will be able to do what I can do. Everybody have their own lives and everybody have their own possibilities. But I worked hard so that my wife didn't have to work. I would not just cook, even working somewhere. She can work if she wants to work, but that is a choice. That is working out of pleasure, working out of satisfaction, more of working out of fulfillment, to fulfill what she wants, what she wants to become in life, but not working out of survival, not working because she needs to pay 50% of the salary and of the home keep, and I need to pay 50%. Not that she should have to work so that she supports the children or supports the family. No. She does not ever have to work, for anything. Even before I became a big pastor, because that's why I worked hard all my life. Now, concerning cooking, I have a very good member of our platform, of our family, Facebook family. Fumi Adeusi is her name. I love her so much, and she loves me, I know. And she said, Pastor, I don't agree with you here. And I understand, because maybe she or many others think that I prohibit my wife from cooking. I didn't prohibit her from cooking. She cooks sometimes, because she's an African, and all the cook that we have here, all the people that we have here are white people. All our cooks, our home helps, all of them are white, and not all of them can cook African food. So sometimes my wife cooks for herself. She cooks the African food because all other people cannot cook that. And sometimes she just feels like cooking. She wants to relax. She wants to go and cook for relaxation. That is different. But that is not, and she drives herself sometimes. I too can drive. So it's not about, it's not about, it's prohibited for her to cook or anything. It's just, let me tell you the main point I was trying to make. So if someone like my friend Fumi wants to cook and she likes to cook, why not? Go ahead. I was just trying to make you people realize that it is good to use your time or your minutes and your seconds of the day to do where you are most effective in. That I was just trying to say that time is life and time is passing. Time is passing every second like this. Every second, life is going. And there are different things you could use life for. You could waste life. That is what the failures do. You could spend life. That is what the mediocres do. In my own case, I just happen to think that cooking is one of the less important things for someone like my wife, my own wife. For some other people's wife or some other women, cooking might be their thing. That is how they could bring the best value to the world. But for my own wife, I know that she could bring better value to the world doing other things than cooking. And I know that the other women who are cooking for me here in our house, that is their own calling. That is their own area. That's where they find themselves. Why not? So I'm not saying that women shouldn't cook or wives cannot cook. Everybody make their own choice. But the point I was trying to make is that each one of us should maximize our time. So I was thinking, okay, for example, like I said, the time, I was using the example of the bus. Somebody could be going in the bus and just looking around. It's the same time is going. That another person could be going and reading, is adding value to himself. Another person could be going and writing, is even a higher value. So what I'm saying is that same 1 hour could be used to create greater value. I was just trying to point out that our life, our net worth depends on the value that is created within an hour of your day. Within an hour of your time, of your day. Every hour of your day decides what value you create. So some people don't even notice when an hour passes. But some people use that hour for important things. Some people use it for not very important things. But I am just teaching you to maximize that 1 hour and to create the best possible value for you. If the best possible value for you to create is to cook, go ahead and do it. But in our family, I've discovered that the best value to create is for my wife to fulfill her calling, to discover who she is, and she did. And she's having a worldwide influence like me. And I think it's a good thing because she started from a very low place. And then another thing that she will do with that time is that she will use that time to invest in our children. And I think investing more time in the children is for our family much more better than for her to invest that time cleaning and washing the plates and all that. So what the lesson really, I think we shouldn't shift the focus. The lesson is about comparative advantage. So comparative advantage, how does comparative advantage work? The same amount of time, the same 1 hour could be invested in, for example, in the laboratory, investing the cure for cancer, or the same 1 hour could be used just, looking at, walking in the park and just sightseeing. The same 1 hour, but the cure for cancer gives to me better value than just walking in the park and just looking at the birds out there crying. Or another person could take that 1 hour and use it to wash plates. That is also a little bit of value. Somebody needs to eat. The plate needs to be washed. Not bad, but if I needed to choose what to use my 1 hour for, I would rather use my 1 hour to find the cure for cancer in the laboratory than use it to go and walk in the park or use it to go and wash some plate. Those things are not bad. Somebody has to do them, but I don't think it's me, and I don't think it's my wife. I have a responsibility to my family and to the people that are under me, under my influence, to maximize their potential. And to maximize their potential, I must help them open their eyes to what they are called to. The best ways for us to create net worth is to invest in our sphere of influence. And now I'm going to my by the way, Ola Martin is saying, amen, find cure for cancer. Ola Martin, can you put your link? I got your letter because she has a link. She calls GoFundMe. She's raising money for a cure of cancer. Ola Martin is struggling with cancer, believing God for her healing. And she's asking us to help fund her. So if you see a GoFundMe from Ola Martin, please, let's all try and help her out. Anyway, well, the point I'm trying to make, okay, let's go down to I think I made my point concerning this morning's message. If anybody wants to understand, I think it's clear enough for anybody to understand. If you still don't want to understand, I'm sorry, but I'm just sorry. That's just my opinion, okay? Everybody is free to have their own opinion, but that's just my opinion, like I said in the morning. And by the way, that morning message is become the most popular message we have done so far. It's become the most popular message we have done so far. Actually, that morning message now is about 12,000 counting views and 130,000, 150,000 reach and 300 and something shared. So it's going viral. It's going viral. Well, but really, the message is the same. It's about value, about creating the most value for your time, okay? So anyway, the message of today is titled, so now that I've said that the most important thing in life is to create maximum value with your 1 hour. In your 1 hour, that your net worth depends on how much value you create in a day or in an hour of your time. So now the question is, how do I increase my net worth? How do I increase my productivity? How do I increase it? This is Fumi at last writing. Right, Fumi is saying, yes, Pastor, I understand you perfectly. Don't be annoyed at me, Fumi. I don't say don't cook. Go ahead and enjoy cooking, but thank God you say you understand me already. Okay. Well, today's message is how to increase your net worth. Let's continue today's topic now. Let's focus on this one. The idea is this. Listen closely. The difference between people and their net worth. The difference between people and their net worth, not network. But net worth, the difference between people and their net worth, their net worth, their finances, their value, their respect, their honor, their net worth is in what they are able to produce in an hour of their time. How much value are you able to create within an hour of your time? How much value are you able to create in an hour of your day? Let's take 8 hours as our active balance sheet, all right? 8 hours, that is the working hours of the day, the effective hours of the day. So what is your net worth in an hour? Your net worth is decided by what you do with an hour of your life. Each hour is deciding your net worth. Each hour is deciding your value. Each hour, the value you are creating each hour is actually the picture of your whole life. So 1 hour of your life is how you spend an hour of your life, and how you spend 1 day of your life is actually the true picture of your whole life. If you can afford to waste 1 hour of your day, if you are wasting 1 hour, you waste 1 day. If you could afford to waste 1 hour, you even waste 1 day without even noticing it. And the way you spend your day is a picture of how you spend your life. So if you are prone to wasting and to not creating value within an hour of your day, it means your whole life will not create value. You will be surprised by the time you are 60 and you are on pension or you are going to pension that the only thing you did is that you had a job. The only thing you did with your life is that you had salary. You will not have anything to show for it. Why? It's not because God doesn't love you. It's not because God hates you. It's not because life is not fair. It's not because you are not lucky. It's because you lived a lifestyle that is not used to creating value in an hour. Anybody that is not used to creating value within an hour of his day will be shocked at the end of his life. There will be nothing to show for it. And the reason is not because the world is not fair or Satan is bad or God, is not blessing them. It's just because they have not mastered the wealth of time. They have not learned to master life, and they have not learned the secret of conversion. They've not been taught conversion, and they've not been taught the secret of how to maximize their lives. They've not been taught or educated in how to form their net worth. They've not been taught or educated in how to use their life and create a system of value chain. Their life has not become value chain. So because of that, they just think the most important goal in their life is to get a good job. And they are working, but getting a job is mortgaging your life. You will not have anything to show at the end of the day because they will send you to go and die. They will call it pension. They don't say go and die. They call it pension, but that is actually saying go die. We don't need you anymore. Bring your children. The slavery where you have served, the bondage where you have served, bring your children. Make sure you give birth to children. Let your children come and continue serving while you go and die. Then your children also will come and work for salary. Then they will also give birth to children. They will go and die. We'll send them on pension to go die. They will give birth to other children. That is not life. That is not the kind of life I'm talking about. I'm talking about the life that is maximized. I'm talking about being in charge of your life. And for you to be in charge of your life, you've got to be in charge of every hour of your day. You must be accountable for every hour of your day. You must make sure that for every hour of your day, you are creating value. That you are either adding value to yourself, or you are adding value to others, or you are creating value in some goods or services. You are creating value in some goods or services. If you are not monitoring every hour of your day, if you cannot account for what you do for every hour of your day, your net worth will be empty. Your net worth will be nothing. You will become a worker for the rest of your life. You will be on salary for the rest of your life. You will be a pathetic sight at the end of your life, because you are not converting your life into worth. You are not converting your life into net worth. You are not converting your life into value. You are not creating a value chain for yourself. And so, you are just a victim of life. Remember, Maria is saying a lot of crying going on. Remember, the greatest wealth in life is not salary, and it's not job. It's not it's not even your money. The greatest the greatest wealth in life, the greatest resource in life is time. And the greatest thing you could discover about life is to discover one word, and that word is conversion. If you could know the secret of conversion, which is converting every minute, second, hour, if you could learn and become a master in converting your time into value, you will become anything you want to become. Anybody can become anything they want if they learn to master the wealth of time. Time is wealth. Time is resource. Time is more than money. Time is life. If you learn to convert time into anything you want, you can convert time. Like I said, I already made the point that everything we see today is a product of time. Everything is created from time. Things are not created by people, they are created through time. Time creates everything. Everything you see, you are a product of time. How do I know that you are a product of time? Because if you are not in the stomach of your mother for 9 months, you will not have been created. No matter how you try, no matter how your parents try, no matter how your mother try, no matter how your father try, if you will not be in that womb for 9 months or at least 7 months, you will never come to life. We will never be seeing you today. It is that time of incubation, that time that you are able to be in your mother's womb, that created you. Time. You are a product of time. You are a creation of time. You will not be walking today. You will not be talking to me today if not because of time. That is why no matter where you go to in the world, after everything is put under the power of time. That is why when you give birth to a child, at about exactly 3 months' time, that child will begin to try to sit down. Try to sit down. Everywhere, in America, in Asia, in Europe, it doesn't matter what color of the skin, it doesn't matter what part of the world, 3 months' time, something happens to that child. A process takes place. Why? The period of time, 3 months, create another value in that child. What value? The value of the ability to sit down, the product. That is added value. 3 months for a child that is born is value. After about 6 months or so, the child begins to crawl. Crawl. Is it crawl? We call it crawl? Crawl? It begins to crawl. Where do we get that from? It is the time. In the space of 6 months, or 9 months, the child begins to crawl. Why? Because everything is created from time. That is another added value right there that is coming. Now, when it is about 1 year, that child will begin to walk. How? It is the same thing. Everything is made out of time. Everything is made out of time. This, my iPad, is a product of time. It is a product of the time invested in creating it. It's a product of time. And when you buy something, listen closely, when you go to the store to buy anything, you are not paying for the thing. You are not paying for the metal. You are not paying for the leather or anything. You are paying for maybe you are paying for the raw material little, but really what you are paying for is the time that is spent in producing this iPad. You are paying for the time of the people who worked to produce this. You are paying for the time of the people who went to look for the raw materials. You are paying for the time of the people who assembled it. You are paying for the time that the person who came up with the idea spent doing research, studying, adding value to himself. It is the time. That is why they pay you salary for a month. It means you gave a month of your life in exchange for that salary. Or if they pay you for a day, they give you a salary in exchange for the 1 day of your life that you gave. It's an exchange. So everything is a product of time. This house was built for 9 months because it's time. This house could not have come out in the next 2 days or 3 days or 9 days. It's not possible. It is a product of time. Everything is made out of time. Time, therefore, is the raw materials from which everything is created. Time is the raw material from which everything is created. Time is the source from which everything is created. Therefore, if time is so important, which means you could convert time into anything you want to be. You could take ahead or take a hold of your time and decide to become anything you want to become. Those of you who listened to me yesterday, I spoke about my village last night, and I spoke to you about 7 friends who had the same amount of time. And the time they had was 6 years. In 6 years, 5 of them decided to convert that period of 6 years into product, into value. So one became a doctor, one became an engineer. What happened? They went and took that time and converted the time, and through labor, through work, converted the time into whoever they want to become. The one that wanted to become an engineer converted the time in the school of engineering and became an engineer. The one that wanted to become a medical doctor spent that same years in the medical school, converted the knowledge in the time through work, through studies, into 6 years. By 6 years, one was engineer, one was doctor, one was pastor, one was a lawyer. Everybody converted the time into whatever they want to become. And I say, could they swap? Could they have swapped? Yes, they could have swapped. All of them could have changed their mind and said that, no, I want to become a lawyer. I don't want to become a medical doctor. Or the one who is an engineer could say, I want to become a lawyer. I don't want to become this anymore. So people can just take that time that it takes and go and convert that time into an added value. You decide what value you want to add to yourself. You remember 2 days ago I spoke about what you want to become. Now, yesterday night when I spoke about the fact that any of those kids could have become anything they wanted, they could have swapped. But it is easier for you to find out, instead of you just to go and study and convert your time into anything. It is more pleasurable. You are more satisfied and fulfilled if you first of all find out what your calling is. So if you are called to be an engineer, you are not going to study to convert your time to become a medical doctor. If you could still become a medical doctor and convert that time to become a medical doctor, but you will not be as fulfilled. You will not be as happy, and you will need to exert more energy, more resources, more energy, more hard work into converting that time to become a medical doctor. But if you are called to be an engineer and you go and convert your time into your calling, into your area of calling, it gives you more fulfillment, it gives you more joy, it's easier for you. You find it, you feel you are like a fish in the pond, in the river. But if you are called to be an engineer and you are studying to become, to converting your time and forcing that time to be converted to a medical doctor, you could become a medical doctor, but you will do it as if you are swimming against the tide. But still, you can convert time to anything you want to become. The point I'm trying to make is that if you can, master time, and if you can master every hour of your day, to convert it into value, you decide whatever you want to become. You can become anybody, anything you want to become in life. There is no stopping you. You can become anything. So, how do you increase your net worth? That is my topic for today. Let me see how many minutes I have. Okay. How do you, let me go more concretely and give you more concrete facts. How do you increase your net worth in a day? In an hour. How do you increase your net worth in an hour? 1, find out your calling and make sure you are converting every minute or every hour of your day into adding value in your area of calling. So when 1 hour, ask yourself every minute of that 1 hour, what am I doing right now that is adding value to me in regards to my calling? That's number 1 question. Number 2 question, what am I doing right now that is making me better, know better? How how am I, this information that I'm getting, or this thing I'm seeing, I'm looking, or this meeting where I am now, how is this thing that I'm exposed to, I'm hearing or listening to, how is it going to help me to fulfill my calling? How is it going to, how can I use it? How can I maximize? How can I convert this information into making me become who God said I should become, who I'm supposed to become? How can this thing be used? So that way it's like being, it's like this room where I am right now. I'm in a room where we have light. You see light in this room? But this light is not hot. This light in this room cannot even break this. It cannot even cut through this. It cannot cut through anything. But if you take this light and you use laser, you use the power of laser to focus this light, and you turn the same amount of energy that is in this light, that is just bringing light and illumination. If you use laser and convert it and put it all together into focus, and focus the energy here that is just giving light, that this same amount of energy that is here, when it's applied through laser could become hot fire. It could become, a fire that will break through energy, that will break through this thing. It could become an energy that would like what the welder used to wed their iron. It could break through iron. It could cook anything. It could, because it's focused. So that is what happens when you convert your energy and when you convert your time into a concrete, specific area of calling. When you know your area of calling, it's like you are laser effective. So when you're hearing everything and you're saying, how can this thing add to me? This thing I'm hearing, how can I use it for my calling? This thing I'm saying, how can I use this? How can it help me to become better? This thing where I am, how can it? You are concentrating the energy of everything and you are getting the laser result. So the result is not just going to be you just like people are living. I'm doing something, I'm busy, but effectiveness will be higher. So when you know you are working and converting every minute into benefiting you, into benefiting your calling, into answering the question how you could fulfill that calling better, you are increasing your net worth in that 1 hour. Number 2, how can you increase your net worth within an hour? How can you increase your net worth? Like you remember what we said, the difference between people is not where they come from, it's not where they live, it's not in what country they live, it's not in what their economy, it's not anything. The difference between people is in what they do in their hour, what amount of value they are able to produce within an hour of their day. Is especially between their net worth. So the difference between people and their net worth, and the difference between the net worth of people is in what they are able to produce in an hour of their day. All right. So number two secret of how to increase your net worth is your net worth, the worth or the value that you are producing in 1 hour, within 1 hour, directly depends on how much value you had earlier added to yourself. How much self-education you had done upon yourself. So that is why personally, I make sure that I get myself, I do self-education 3 to 6 hours a day, at least 3 hours a day. Because it is the amount of value you have created in yourself that would determine the amount of value you could create outside yourself. If the amount of value you have created in yourself will determine the amount of value you can create in others. The amount of value you have added to yourself determines the amount of value you can add to others. And the amount of value you have added to your mind determines the amount of value that you could create in a concrete product or in a service. So that's number 2, how to increase your net worth. So if you are very well, if you have done a lot of self-education and added value into yourself, your net worth will always grow. That's why if you stop adding value to yourself, if you stop self-education, your network will also stop. Your value production will not increase. The next thing you could do to increase your net worth is the quality of your labor. The quality of your labor decides your net worth. The quality of your work, the quality of your labor, the quality of your work. You know, you could have 1 hour and you could have, like I said yesterday, you could have one person making the same thing. Okay, we can have 2 people sitting down in our office for 1 hour. One person in that 1 hour is just using social network and just swing sugar, Why another person within that hour is working hard, concentrated, and working hard. Quality work, quality of work increases the net worth. So, you know, just like typing. Let's take typing for example. Somebody could type 1,000 words in an hour, and somebody else could type 10,000 words in an hour. Why? The quality of work. So the quality of your work. That's why we must all pay attention to quality in everything. I always teach my disciples that everything depends on how you relate to small things. If to you there are no small things, and you relate with small things with utmost dedication and quality, you will also relate to big things also with quality. For people of quality, there are no small things. There are no little things. There are no unimportant things. Everything is important to them. That is quality. So if you do your work with that attitude of doing the best quality, that's why the Bible says that anything that your hands finds, anything, it doesn't mean that big things or small things, anything, do it with all your heart. If you could do quality work, quality of labor, quality of work, quality of labor decides the net worth. Your net worth will always increase according to the quality of the labor you perform. If I see people that I'm always looking for their attitude to little things. If I see the quality of their labor, I want to pay them. I can pay them anything. I can pay them any salary if I can see somebody to do things in qualitative way. Unfortunately, there are very few people who do things qualitatively, and they are waiting for important things to come before they do things in quality. But in fact, important things never come, because everything is small is really important. So if you are not responsible and you don't do quality work when in small things, you will never be able to do quality work in big things as well. Number 4, how do you increase your net worth? Another way you could increase your net worth is by creating demand. Either you create demand for, okay, you are producing a product right now, but that product needs demand. It needs sales. It needs market. So whenever you are doing, you must also add value to yourself in knowledge. You must add knowledge to yourself. Learn how to create demand for whatever you are producing. How to create demand for whatever value you have added to yourself. How to create demand for the product or service you are creating. You must learn how to create demand. People who have created demand for their worth and for their value, they gain more net worth. They increase their net worth drastically. Even if you cannot create the demand, at least look for demand. Study. Look for where there is demand. And make sure that you channel your effort, your conversion, the conversion of your time into creating value that is already having demand. Make sure you have demand for the value you are creating. That will increase your net worth as well. Next thing that will increase your net worth. Next thing that I don't know the numbers anymore. You write the numbers. The next thing that will increase your net worth is right attitude. You know, for example, you could be hearing me now, like I was speaking this morning. I was talking about my wife doesn't cook and I don't drive. Somebody will say, of course, since you are a rich pastor, of course, you pastors are so rich, with the tithe and offering of people. And so, why should you cook? Or why should your wife cook? Of course, you have eaten the food of people now. You cannot cook. Attitude is. He has lost the lesson. So he's critical. Is instead of him to have the right attitude of humility and to ask for, to ask and to learn, is criticizing. Another one is saying, oh, you are preaching all this preaching, you are not even quoting the Bible. So if that is your attitude, to find fault or to be asking what this guy is not doing right or is not doing the way you are supposed to expect him to do, you are just going to lose. You are not adding net worth to yourself. And that attitude doesn't create value for you. So another thing that creates value to you is the right attitude. And these are the things that the church is supposed to be teaching us. To have the right attitude of hunger, right attitude of humility, right attitude of how can I use this? Questions, right attitude of how can I use this for my gain? Next point. How you could increase your net worth is through questions. You can increase your net worth through questions. Always ask questions. How can this increase me? How can I use this to better myself? How can I use it to better my product? How can I use this? What is behind this? How can I use it to increase people's life? How can I use it to increase myself? Everything that comes to your ear, ask questions. Everything that comes to your eyes, ask questions. Everything that you see, everywhere you are, ask questions. How can this help me fulfill my calling? How can this help me produce a better product? How can this help me produce better service? Questions, questions, questions. As a matter of fact, I wrote a book. I have a book in Russian language. It's not yet in English. I wrote a book that is called Why Questions Are More Important Than Marriage, Children, and Faith in God. I will write that in English one day, and I'm sure there will be more scandal than this one we just had this morning. Next question. What number are we now? Next point that will help you to increase your net worth is focus. Focus. The ability to work and not notice anything else. The ability to be focused, concentration, focus and concentration. It increases your output at least 3 times. It depends on your level of concentration. It could increase you from 3 times to 10 times. Focus. Just like the same thing I spoke about, this light, the light that is here. Because it's not focused, because it's just fluorescent, just giving light illumination. But when it's brought together and it's focused through laser, it becomes fire. It becomes something that could cut through a tree, through a wall, through an iron, through a metal even. Focus increases your efficiency many, many times. The ability to convert. You are talking about conversion of 1 hour of your day. To work, if you will use that 1 hour to focus, working on the same thing, you will get results that will amaze you. I'm not giving examples now because I could have given you many examples for these points, but I just want to give you as many points as possible so that you go and analyze them yourself. Why is it that those people like George Washington Carver, the scientist, why is it that he went to the laboratory to work on his invention? He went there on Monday or on Tuesday, on Monday, 7 o'clock in the morning, and he was there till Friday, not eating, just drinking. He was there till Friday, and he closed the door, just doing research. All his people got so worried that they went to break the door of the laboratory in 2 o'clock Friday. And when he said, what's your problem? I just came here at 7 o'clock this morning. They said, no, you didn't come 7 o'clock this morning. You came 7 o'clock Monday morning. And today is Friday. That is focus. And that is why he became one of the greatest inventors in the world. George Washington Carver. Next point that will really increase your net worth is diligence. Diligence means, to do everything to the best of your knowledge. Just to always, everything concerns you. There are some things like, it's not my responsibility. This one doesn't concern me. I don't care. No, this is not my own something. Everything concerns you. To a diligent person is interested in everything. A diligent person is interested in it. How is this one done? How is this one? Takes interest in everything. And especially the things that will help him to become better in his own calling or in his area of calling. Let's see what is the time I have more. How much more time do I have? Okay. So now let me give you some examples of how, your life depends on the value you are able to create in an hour of your day. And you could use time. The point I'm trying to make is that you could use time to become anything you want to become. There is no limit. You have time. You have the worth of time. Thanks to the worth of time, you could become anything that you wish to become. It all depends on how you use your time. Are you wasting your time, spending your time, or you are converting your time into added value? Either you are adding value to yourself, or you are adding value to others, or you are adding value. Yeah, diligence is attention to details. Yeah, diligence is attention to details. So either you are adding value to yourself, you are adding value to others, or you are adding value to the product. So, you are creating some valuable products to the world. That's how you create a value chain, and that's how you can become anything you want. For example, I gave the example yesterday, this morning, that I read a book where somebody was talking about how to become a billionaire. When I read the book, I discovered that, the reason why I'm not a millionaire, I even talk less of a billionaire, is because all my time I spent it on church. Okay, I've just spent all my time on if I will give 2 years to study on the loss of money, I knew I would become a millionaire. I did it in 9 months because anything you have not become today is because you have not paid the currency of time for it. For example, I used to be just a pastor before, but I discovered that I'm more interested not just in people coming to church and getting saved and then the country is not changing. I am more interested in changing countries, in changing whole society, not just changing the life of individuals. I discovered that if I want to become an expert in national transformation and become an expert in changing nations, I needed to give my life to studying that. So I invested the next 10 years of my life studying principles of how to change nations, how to bring about national transformation. Now, I don't think you know any other person who might be more expert in changing around countries, in turning around countries, in national transformation like Pastor Sunday. My whole church is about turning around nations and bringing about national transformation. All my members so when I talk now about politics, about economy, about everything, everybody say, how can you do that? Because I have devoted time to create value in myself on how to change nations. So you could become anything. I became a millionaire in 9 months. I became a national transformer in like 8 years because I gave my life to becoming an expert in that. Like, for example, I'm talking to you now about time. I don't know whoever you have listened to about time management. Everybody is talking about time management and all that. But you will never hear people talk about time the way Pastor Sunday is talking about time. Because everybody is repeating each other. Everybody is just reading the same book and repeating each other. But I dig deep. I dig deep, not just into the word knowledge, into the wisdom of the word. I dig deep also into the wisdom of God in the Bible. And I also go deep into God in personal relationship with him. That's why when you hear me talk about things, for example, I have an article and I'm going to write a book on, but the article is already there. Go to my blog and look for it. I wrote an article on time. It's totally different. I'm proving to the Nigerian government that Nigerian government now we're in crisis. We don't have the price of oil is falling and the militants are blowing the pipes. And I wrote an article last year. I said, how Nigeria can double our economy. How Nigeria can double our economy. You can go and look for that article on Google or on my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com. How Nigeria, I gave mathematical proof how Nigeria can double our economy just through understanding of time. We could take advantage of that article alone, one article alone, and turn around the Nigerian society so that not even selling anything, just through understanding of the power of time. So what I'm talking to you right now is about how to use time to add value to yourself and to become whoever you want to become. But I wrote an article on how to use the power of time to double the GDP of a whole country. Right now, the GDP of Nigeria is $500 million. $500 billion. So they have $1 trillion. I have an article already there in the internet how Nigeria can double our GDP to become $1 trillion in a year. And that is just through the power of time. You could use time to get anything. If there is not something you don't have now, it's because you have not dedicated the time. You have not, dedicated the time. You have not converted enough time to have it. You have not bought the thing through the currency of time. Let me give you other examples in my life. Just that I prove these principles first in my own life before I begin to talk to people about it. For example, I have a disciple. He's a professor. He's a professor of science, chemistry. He's a professor of chemistry from Atlanta, Georgia. And he was in America for 30 years. He became a professor. He's been the professor like for 20 years or something, teaching chemistry and physics in university in America. You know what he said? And I think this is one of the greatest commendation and compliment I've ever received. This man said, Pastor Sunday, I never understood mathematics until I met you. And I grew up in a village. There was no mathematics teacher in my whole village. I just passed it by hard work. And I never did physics. There was no physics as a subject in my primary school, secondary school. There was no subject like physics. I never saw laboratory my whole life. We never even had chemistry as a subject. But I created time to add value to myself. This professor of science, somebody just mentioned his name here. This man said, I understood physics and chemistry only when I met you. I understood, that is the subject he was teaching in university in America. He has PhD, he's not just PhD, professor. He said, I never understood these things until I met you. Then he said another thing. I never knew that physics was in the Bible until I met you. I never knew that mathematics was in the Bible until I met you. And I never knew that chemistry was in the Bible until I met you. This is not my word. This is the word of somebody who is knowledgeable, who knows what he's talking about. He's an expert in the area. But let me tell you another thing. When I saw what Mark Zuckerberg did, a young man, 27 years old at that time, I challenged myself because I know this law that I can become anything. We could bring solution, answer to any problem in the world. We could bring solution, answer to anything. You could just convert time, dedicate yourself to a given, just like this Malcolm Gladwell said, that if you will dedicate 10,000 hours into anything, you will become an expert in it. You can do discovery. So what I did, listen to this my story. When I saw what Mark Zuckerberg did, I know I have the secret, and I know I have the mind of Christ. So I told myself, if unbelievers who don't know Christ, who don't have personal relationship with the Lord, if they are able to come up with Microsoft, internet, Google, I want to come up with a better invention. Listen to this. My people here know it, what I'm talking about. Not too few people know it. I came up with a concept that is called University of Life. But it's a concept, it's an internet concept. I came up with an internet concept that we invited to be, we submitted to people from Silicon Valley, people who work with Steve Jobs, people who work with Mark. The first people who are in Silicon Valley, they have their own company now, but I submitted my submission to them. I did an invention that is going to be better than Facebook, that's going to be better than Google, all put together. I have that invention now, and we are about to go and do the patent for it. But I submitted it to these people from Silicon Valley. These people said, with this invention, and the reason why I did the invention was, I want to come up with an invention that will make everybody to hear the gospel. Everybody to hear the gospel in the world. I wanted to create an invention where I will have 5 billion people, minimum 5 billion people on that platform. And I created it already. That invention is already, I have it right now in my computer. I created that invention that will be able to gather minimum 5 billion people. And I submitted it to the people in America, in Silicon Valley. They critiqued it and they said, this will be totally revolutionary. There is no way it will not work. There is no way it will not work. It will gather the whole world inside. And that is just by an idea. I am not even a science guy. I never even read physics or anything. But through self-education, conversion of time to add value to myself, I was able to create that invention. I know my invention is better than that of Zuckerberg. I know my invention, not me. Don't believe my words. These people said it. This invention is better than Facebook. It's going to run Facebook out of market. That is this invention that I did. But it's going to cost me $1 billion minimum to develop it. $1 billion to develop it. So what am I doing? I just put it aside right now. The time will come for it. I'm going to make money, going to come up with $1 billion or more, raise that money, and then I'm going to develop that technology that is going to run, all these other things out of town. That is what you can do. Like for example, we are talking about energy. I could devote myself today to finding answer to energy problem or to problem of electricity, and I'll be able to find an answer to it. And the reason is because anything you decide to become through the power of time, you can do it. You can become it. It is your choice. So, but I don't want to do that now, because the problem is that I want to rather open the eyes of believers. I want to spend my life bringing enlightenment, bringing revelation, open the eyes of Christians especially. That to me is more important than just finding answer to the problem of electricity in Nigeria or Africa or power in general. But everything is possible if you know how to make value out of time, how to use the power of conversion to convert. You can convert time into anything that you want to become in this life. Ooh, wow. I have another thing. I don't know if I should tell you this or not. I have other technology that I came up with, know-how, understanding, ideas of how to create the greatest business ideas in the world. But only scientists can. I've never even shared with anybody. Only professor. I shared it with professor, and he said this will just work, because he said, but he himself couldn't even handle it. For people to handle it, I need only scientists, only the best scientists in the world. I want to use it for Africa. Before, when I get to Africa, I want to gather together the best mind of the best academicians, the best scientists all over Africa. I want to gather them together and teach them and reveal to them this secret for a week or for 1 month, and just train them in how to develop the greatest business ideas in the world, especially food production, how to produce unique technology for food production. I have it right now. I cannot share it with people, because ordinary people cannot get it. We need big developed minds. And I'm still waiting to even find people to share it with. So when people are telling me, Pastor, face your business, face your calling, that I should just be doing preaching, why should you limit God when God has given you the mind of Christ? Why should I limit God when I know the secret that I could convert, I could become anything I want to become in life? You too could become anything you want to become in life. You have the greatest wealth that is available on earth. That is time. If you will use the force of conversion through labor, through work, if you can just decide what you want to become, where, when, and then do conversion of time. Use these principles that I've been teaching you these last few months. You can become anything. I mean, can you imagine that? Everybody knows that now, that after I became a millionaire in 9 months, I decided that I would make other people millionaires. I did it. In the next 3 years, I was able to make 200 millionaires in 3 years. And these people are still alive here today. Why? Because life is about secrets, you know. Life is about secrets. Let me give you one more principle. What is the book about millionaire? This is the book. This is the book about making millionaires. Money won't make you rich. But it's not just in books now. It's also in teachings. I have all the teachings on my platform, SundayAdelajablog.com. Go and look for the video teachings or the daily broadcast. Daily teaching. You will see the series on finances, the laws of money. Listen, let me finish with this. Let me tell you something, guys. Listen to me closely. Listen closely, everyone. Listen closely. I hope you will get this. There is no excuse for failure in life. Okay, maybe I should say it differently. There is no failure in life, really. There is nobody that should fail in life. No failure in life. No excuse for failure in life. Nobody should fail. And again, let me start again. There is no room or excuse for failure in life. But people fail anyway. People fail nevertheless. So why do people fail? If there is no reason for people to fail, why do people fail? In fact, as a matter of fact, I personally believe there is no room for anybody not to be successful in life or to become a millionaire in life, if you want. So why do people then fail? One, people fail. The only people who fail, or people fail only because, one, either they don't know the laws or the secrets of life, the laws of life, the secrets of life. And that is why I started this broadcast. Every day, I started 4 months now. For 4 months, I've been doing this broadcast. In 4 months, I've produced 250 secrets, sermons. If you are going to go to church, you only have, 52 weeks. 52 weeks in every Sunday. 52 weeks is like 5 years. 5 years of you need to go to 5 years to church, 5 years every Sunday for you to be able to hear and all the content that I produce in 4 months. But so it's about secrets. Life is about secrets. Life is about laws. Life is predictable. Let me tell you something. The only people who fail, they only fail because either they don't know the secrets to success, or they know the secrets, but they are not willing to pay the price that success demands. Either and the price is hard work. The price is the price of conversion. Either you don't know. There are no failures. There are no reasons to fail in life. The only people who fail because they don't know the secrets of life, the laws of life, the principles of success. Or maybe they know, but they are not willing to pay the price that success demands. They are not willing. So life is predictable. I have a whole series about this. Also on my blog, go to those daily broadcasts. You will see a series that is called Life is Predictable. The series about laws of life is Life is Predictable. Life is Predictable. Go and look for that series. It's a whole week I preach on life is predictable. Because life is built on laws. If you could know the laws of life, that is why people who don't know God can be successful. You don't need to know God to be successful on earth. You need to know the laws of God, the principles of God. You don't need to be a believer. You don't even need to believe in God to be successful. You just need to believe in His laws to be successful. But if you don't believe in God, you go to hell anyway. But we who believe in God, we don't even use His principles. That's why we are not successful. We don't use His laws. We only believe in God, but God cannot help you anymore. He has already given everything to you. He said, it is finished. You must now understand His laws. You must now understand His principles. You must now understand the way He made everything to function. When you exploit His laws, His principles, when you submit yourself to His rule, then you will know that you can become anything you wish to become. And one of those laws is the law of conversion of time. And that's what I've been teaching you this week. You can become anything. We can find solution to any problem. We can resolve any issue if we will dedicate ourselves to converting our time into finding solution to that problem, into finding answer to that equation, into bringing about solution. We could dedicate ourselves. You could have children or anybody, put any target before you, you will attain it. If any human being was able to attain any amount of success or any success in any sphere of life, anybody can repeat that success. If anybody was able to do anything, you too can do and do better. Only depending on one thing, you have to discover the secret that made them to do that. And you also have to be willing to pay the price. For me to come up with that invention about, the thing that is better than Facebook, the Mark Zuckerberg kind of thing, it challenged me. But I don't know how many years he spent to come up with Facebook. Maybe he spent 6 years or so. I only spent 2 years. 2 years of my life, I was looking for an invention that would be able to take the gospel to everybody in their own homes, in their own rooms, to make everybody to come to the same platform. Just two years, I found a solution. I got it, Eureka. I got the Eureka, and we developed the idea, and we have it right now. Something that will be able to communicate and take the gospel to every home and bring everybody on the same platform. Well, that is all for now. I hope you will have learned one lesson or two today on how to increase your net worth. And again, like I said in the morning, no offense was intended. And also now, no offense is intended. I don't need to apologize. If you don't like what I'm saying, please, you are free to go. Well, thank you for being here anyway. And if you like what I'm saying, let's hear your opinion. And let's go and share the link first. Please, let's go and look for our share button. Go share your link. Go share this link to this message, because it might be a blessing to you tomorrow or to somebody else tomorrow. Let's go share the link. As you go share the link, let's also go and write our lessons, our testimony, or what are you feeling? What is happening to you? Do you receive anything from this teaching? Is it a blessing to you? Are you blessed? What are you going through? What is your conclusion? What's going through your mind? What are you learning? What are you trying to say? What are you going to say about what you are hearing? What are your decisions? Because just being religious, some people are just religious going to church. What do we have to show for it? Don't kill time through religiosity. Account for your life, because time is life. Okay, I'm hearing your comments. What are they writing? Matthew Idowu says, thank you, Pastor. You have blown our minds, particularly mine. I can never remain the same again. Oh, wow. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank God. Thank God for that. Well, I'm sorry. I've got to drink something. I've got to drink some water. I'm sorry. I've got to drink some water. I've been giving out so much energy to you guys. I've got to drink something. Okay. BC Ogunsami said, I can't believe I've been missing this. Yes, but you can go and connect them. You just need to go and find time, discipline yourself, cut everything out from your life, and go and find time to, to listen to all the things you've missed. Go to SundayAdelajablog.com and you'll be able to find everything there. Or go to my YouTube page, Sunday Adelaja Official. You'll be able to find everything there. Elizabeth Ali is asking, has 1 hour passed? Is it 1 hour yet? Let me tell you now. Yeah, 1 hour has passed. It's 1 hour 15 minutes already. Time is going so fast. Okay, BC says it's truly explosive. Christopher Odetola said true, because the richest people in the world we hear of are mainly those we call unbelievers. Africans need help. And we could all become anything we want to. Nkem Dick is a non-taking, sir. Thanks for being yourself and so transparent. Okay, no offense taken, all right. You have endeared yourself to our hearts, and we can't but love you. Thank you, Nkem. BC says, I'm a changed person forever. Great. Modukwe Akinola said, I can become whatever I want to be through dedication. I'm a changed person already. Not just through dedication. Dedication is just one of the principles. Through conversion of time. Conversion of time into product, into value, into net worth. Harvest Victory said, thank you. You've empowered me and challenged me to be more productive and conscious on how I use every hour. I'm committed. Anastasia McDonald said, Pastor, how do you decide to become laser effective when you are multi-talented? Yes, you just need to dedicate time to it. Just dedicate time. I don't believe in doing just one thing. I am doing like maybe 100 projects at the same time. Christina Bonder, right now I'm anyway, don't worry about that. Christina said, we as believers must become the best in this world. Yeah. Mary Muguru said, woo, Pastor, can't even explain how it's burning. The need to rise and do something is so high. I have to become somebody. Kike Moronkeji says, explosive. My life will never be the same again. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, too. She's sending a lot of hearts to me. Red hearts. Georgette said, thank you very much. Okay. Esther said, bless you. All right. Joseph Oyewole said, our pastor is so much on fire today. We are literally set ablaze. You can't drink from this fountain and not be productive. Amen. Victoria Salau say, awesome word. Please, sir, are you going to start any financial messages soon? Oh, Victoria, where have you been? I have done that already. I have 51 messages, a whole series on financial freedom and loss of money. Just go get it. It's out there for your taking for free. Go to SundayAdelajablog.com. It's there already. And if you don't have money, if you're in Africa and you don't have money, go get some of those my representatives, Diepere or Ben. Abiodun Oluwale said, Nigerian pastors would need to hear this. What do you have to show going to church? Yeah, of course. Matthias says, it's unbelievable. I have learned a lot, and mostly it's all about these secrets and being ready to pay the price. Thanks very much. Aniebet Udofia, truly there is no born failures. Thank you, Pastor. Shigo, Pastor, I'm on your Facebook page night and day. Not enough time. Omo Wonuola said, I've heard that all things are possible before, but it is now that I am getting to understand the statement. Thank you, sir. And that's why somebody is telling me you are not quoting the Bible. You can quote the Bible more than me. You already know what the Bible says, but you don't know how to apply it. Okay, you can go and quote all things are possible. You know that. Everybody knows that. But how do we make it possible? That is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm not just bringing what the Bible says, but how to do it. How to materialize it. Galina Kirishenka said, we shouldn't be killer of life, because if we kill time, we kill life. We should convert it into increase our net worth, to increase our net worth. Brilliant, Galina. Gloria Amaka said, unquenchable fire has been ignited in my spirit and soul. Thanks for firing me up. Your strength is renewed in Jesus. Amen. Shao Ubuntu, listening to you from an hospital bed. Oh, my dear, my. We release strength upon you right now. No matter how the doctors are saying, I'm coming out and I will become answer and solution. Yes, and I agree with you with my faith right now, Shashao, that you are coming out of that place to become solution in Jesus' name. Sheyi Eyitayo said, great message. Abiodun said, Nigerian pastors. Okay, I read that already. Somebody said, I feel like shouting. Why don't you shout? Go ahead and shout. Why not? Glory said, it makes me feel like I've never sat in a classroom before. Yeah, thank you, sir, for education. As lack of knowledge is really a disease. That's why you must try to come for the HMT, for the History Makers training. The History Makers training in the Ukraine is starting in November from the 6th to the 12th. The History Makers training. If you want to attend that, write to my office. Guest, GUEST, guest at God Embassy, one word, .org. Guest at godembassy.org. Or you could write me, pastor at godembassy.org. Miss Kathleen Simon, God bless you, Pastor. Take care always there. Thank you. Brenda Williams, I thank God for the day I decided to follow you. This is the deliverance I've been praying for all these years. I can't sit down still anymore. BC Ogunsami said, I'm so much in love with your passion. Thank you. Now you have to convert that love to your own passion for yourself too, so that you too also could become as passionate. Bolu, okay, Pastor Bolu Jide said, there is no excuse for failure. I must focus and convert time effectively. The last few days have been revolutionary. Thank you. Christine Aretano said, wow, thank you so much, Pastor, for the best teaching for tonight. It will help us to enhance our calling. God bless. Chris Emenike said, the message are usually posted late on YouTube. Can they be posted immediately after each messages to enable download? No, you could download from Facebook as well. What happens is that we first of all leave it on Facebook. So it's there on Facebook. You can go and look for it on Facebook. Because people are busy, they are working as well. David Etor Levitt said, my first time listening to you, and I can accurately predict myself becoming a positive first fruit of your product in Ghana. Ooh! For that to happen, David, you've got to come to listen to me, not just one time, but every day. Or you've got to go to my blog and look for all the other messages that I've done the past 4 months. Without them, it's going to be difficult to be my first fruit over there. So go look for the messages and come listen every day. I come out here every day, twice a day. That is Nigeria and British time. It's 7:30 a.m. British time, Nigerian time. And then 7 p.m., 7:30 in the morning, and in the evening, 7 p.m. Nigerian British time. And in America, 2:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern time in America as well. Elliot Affley said, Pastor, what you are saying and teaching are difficult things to understand. To those who do not know, they can be better. Well, that's why we must help them. Oyinye Okoro said, Pastor, I just want to say thank you. I'm not the same again. This is deliverance to my body and soul, and you are God sent to my life. By the way, Oyinye Okoro, you are the one who wrote me that you people have decided to take my teachings in Nigeria and begin to do conferences and seminars and live training using my teachings and different topics. That is a brilliant idea. You are showing to me that I'm not wasting my time. You are using the value I'm creating in you to create value in others. That is how we can change our continent and our country and our Christianity and our world. So please, everybody, be free to use this material. Go and do anything you wish to do with them. But let's just spread the word. Let's make our world better. Let's make the kingdom of God spread. BC Ogunsami said, I can't believe this. This is the best thing I've done for myself. Christina Lampe said, every minute I'm more convincing of my mission in life. It cannot be more clearer. Thank you, Doctor, for confirming. Elliot said, I really learned from you this week. I have just decided to finish my next book. Brilliant. Victoria, thank you, sir. I'm in the US. We start reading ASAP. What do you mean you start reading? You are asking for how to become a millionaire? And I said the materials are on my blog. You don't need to read them. They are audio and video recordings. You go to the video blog there on my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com, and then you go to the daily broadcast or video blog and go to the, playlist. And in the playlist, you see all the messages I'm doing every day. And you will see a whole list, about 50-something messages on finances. That's the series on how to become millionaires. But if you want to read, then you've got to get the book on Amazon. All right? Okay. Christina says, I'm so grateful and consider myself so lucky to hear this truth. It's like a push to move, not just for something good, but for the best. Yes. Ufoma says, I cannot wait to manifest. Thank you for making me realize my potential. I'm too loaded not to be heard in this life. Wow. Sandra said, the message of tonight is really powerful and explosive. My life has taken a new turn. God richly bless you for investing so much. Thank you. Asunta Deng said, thank you, Pastor. I really appreciate it. I really needed to hear this. I'm 26 years old and have 3 beautiful kids. Now it's time to be manifested. Koye, that's my school friend. These are golden words of wisdom. Thank you, Koye. Anojo said, one of the best decisions I've made in my life is to follow you, sir. You are God sent to me, as many others, to discover myself and my calling. Paul Eric says, I used to think that I spent my time wisely, but through all these wonderful teachings, I've learned now that I must maximize my time. Right. Maxim Ibinedion said, what times are your live teachings? I just said that. For Nigerian time and British time is 7:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. in the evening. 7:30 in the morning and 7 in the evening. Yetunde Omoile is saying, I don't know how and when I will recover from being dazed by you on a daily basis. In fact, I don't think I want to recover. Bafu says, Bafunes Bafu, Day Bafunes Bafu says, thank you. Samuel Okeke, you are a blessing indeed. I'm so blessed. BC says, I'm forever grateful for the person who shared your post on my Facebook page. Matthias says, this is my first day of getting into this miracle meeting. It's a day I will never forget in my life. Anit Bradley, powerful word. I feel like I have been under a work for years. Yes, you have blown my minds again. Our minds again. Time really is the most valuable thing. Josephat, your preaching are changing lives. Katerina Adamolekon, Katerina Prive, Daragaya. Thank you, Pastor, for changing my life. The people that are angry with this message aren't ready for a change in their lives. You are right. This is, I've never felt this positive and confident in my whole life. Afolabi Victor said, when leaders lead their own lives well, others naturally want to follow their leadership. Your leadership is needed in Africa. Yes, that's why I'm coming back to Africa by the grace of God. And if you want to join the train, if you want to join my team in Africa, please go ahead and go to my blog again, SundayAdelajablog.com, and register. We have a form there. You could register to join my team. I'm taking Europeans, everybody to Americans, everyone that wants to go with me to Africa. I want to take 2,000 people with me to Africa. So if you have not registered yet, go register on my blog and we'll get in touch with you. Obioji Madu, birthday boy. The birthday boy with the red tie, handsome. He say, wow, this is the best birthday gift I've ever received. A gift that will make my net worth bigger than it was in the previous years of my life, right? Olabisi Olushoga. Pastor, you are just the best. Thank you. After listening to you, I got my money from my fixed deposit, and just these few months, I have turned it around. Yeah, because you listen to that one on finances. Yes, she was there for that financial teaching. So thank God, Galina said Apostle Paul didn't quote scriptures every time when he spoke to churches and believers, but he is the great apostle, right? Shegun Lawal said it takes people with large heart to get the message that you pass across. Thank you for being a blessing. Thank you. Flair Karim Matip, I know this message will bring a huge challenge in my life. Thank you, Pastor, to share all this loss and your personal experience. Shashal said, I pray that one day to meet my pastor, Dr. Ralph Darte. He has a crazy faith like you, and it provokes us. Okay, I never heard that name. It sounds Ghanaian to me. Waldemar Santos, my ministry is going to take a full transformation by your Rema word. Thank you. Sir, these messages can only be packaged in CD for those who could not download them. Go ahead and do that. Why don't go ahead and do it and sell? Make money for yourself. Go ahead and do it and sell. Just don't forget to put my name and my photograph there in good quality. Ugo Emeka said, wow, wow, wow. I am grateful. I'm here to have my mind continually transformed and renewed. Thank you. Eriola says, Pastor Sunday is a great blessing to us and our generation. Thanks for your leadership and deep insight. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you so very much, everyone. It's been nice to be with you. Our time is over, long overdue. And I would like to see you tomorrow morning. I'll be back again. God bless.